now recording.
Let's hope it works.
Look, Crisp just crashed. Everything's fine.
No, don't say
We're
that.
so good.
I'm not going to say that.
No,
Been in the call
okay.
for 8 seconds. Yep.
Has it really just crashed?
It rebooted instantly.
Oh, my God. Right, okay, peeps, before we introduce who we are and what we do, we're having a few issues this week, audio-wise and hardware-wise. It seems to be affecting all three of us, which is wonderful. So I suppose that's a good reason why we haven't done the live show. I mean, it's not the reason. The reason's mainly because I didn't remember to announce it all and sort that out. But we'll do it next week, probably, maybe, if I remember. But the live show for what, guys? Of course, it's the live show for the Minecraft Update podcast, which is unofficial, which is where we are, all three of us together. Hooray!
Hooray!
Woo, woo.
And it's a very special week this week. It's incredibly special because it's just after the Minecraft live show. Wow.
So good, guys.
Yeah,
got a lot
so
to
good.
talk about.
I'm so hyped over the update. Yeah.
Let's not get into it just yet. We will be getting into it earlier than normal because we're going to shift things around this week. We're going to do the news first after we've done this week instead of the feedback. But before we get to any of that, it's time to find out what you guys have been up to this week. Jessie, take it away.
So this week I have decided that I'm not doing any more TV content this season. So I'm taking
But for months. For
Yeah.
months and months and months.
Yeah.
You're not going to do any more content. Oh, gee.
No, I'm taking the rest of the season off. I'm gonna do, I think, the next stream weekend. Other than that, yeah, I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah, my base is basically done, and in that meantime, I have made my second channel, and I'm playing some other stuff. So I'm focusing on that for the rest of this season, and then I'll be back to normal TV stuff whenever we decide to update.
Rude. Can't believe it.
I know. I'm sorry.
We got so long left as well. I
I
don't even think
know.
we're like at mid-season point yet.
I mean,
You know, if we're not
it's unfortunate, but
Update until the update comes out and getting all them new exciting things.
Well, I guess I could agree with her. You know, we're excited for the update and don't want to
Yeah.
lose our creative energy because
Yep,
I've more or
exactly.
less, I've more
Okay.
or less, took a TV hiatus for a couple months now and just, yeah. Aside from streams, I haven't been on TV at all.
Wow. Okay. Jeez. You two suck. I can't believe it.
Wow, such love.
I'll keep TB alive in the meantime. Don't you worry. I'll carry it through till next summer. It's fine. Jeez.
I started Slackville over. I mean, yay.
yay!
Yay. I finally got the Minecraft itch. It just wasn't the TV itch.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I can't believe it, you guys.
Why? Hey,
I meant,
hold on one sec, right? In the time you have known me, have I ever taken a break from TV?
no.
No, I haven't.
But like 6 months is a long time, Jessie.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a long
And
break.
you know what? It gives me all of the time in the world to be prepared for next season, to go at it hard. I'm
Organize
good.
my stationery drawer.
Yeah.
Move things around on my desk a bit.
I'm gonna be so professional when we get into the next season. I'm gonna be all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like all of the excitement in the world refreshed. So yeah,
Video
that's-
after
that's how I
video
feel.
after video after video.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Gonna knock
well,
out the
enjoy your
content.
hibernation. Enjoy your second channel.
Thanks, I will.
Hey, the new Call of Duty
Jeez.
comes out later this month. I done pre-ordered that. Just saying. That's mhm.
Have you done anything this week then, Slack? Or are we just having a let's be everybody be down on TB till next year vibe? going on?
I mean, I'm excited for the new Call of Duty coming out. I restarted Slackville. That's Minecraft related content from my end, and just I'm loving life. Yeah, everything's
well,
good.
Good. Well, my week has been an interesting one. I made a new add-on, which I wasn't expecting to make, but all of a sudden I just did it. So that was fun. That was my Entity Debug Pack, which you can download from my website, of course. I've been doing a lot of stuff for Truly Bedrock, actually, yesterday and today. many things, but I can't talk about that because spoilers and stuff like that. But yeah, so that should be exciting when those things come around. And I made a really weird video that I don't think I'm going to upload in response to the Minecraft live show. Do you guys want to hear more about it?
Yeah.
You've kind of piqued my interest.
Okay, so basically, green screen, 3 of me. One is the Minecraft live host. The other one is Jeff, the developer for Minecraft, and I basically redo the show. You got weird hat guy.
Let me see it.
And I've edited the bits with me and the host together. I haven't done the weird hat guy stuff yet, but basically we'll get into it when we get into the news. But I had a lot of thoughts on how I thought they could potentially improve the show and create big hype around the update, even without really adding all that much in. And I thought it was a great idea when I started it, but watching it back is just really cringeworthy and awkward. So I don't think that one's going to see the light of day.
Aw, I think that's sad. You should.
I don't think I'd live it down. So yeah, moving on from our week, skipping feedback for now. We will come back to it because we've got an awful lot of feedback, but we're going to go straight into the news and talk about the big thing that happened this week, which of course was Minecraft Bedrock Preview 1.19.50.20 came out. And with that, they removed spectator mode from experimental, so when this comes out, probably next month, because I don't know if anyone's noticed, but they've been doing these minor updates every single month, pretty much as a clockwork, so I would imagine that's going to come out in November. So spectator mode for the win. They have, yet again, Jessie, you'll be happy about this, dropped dirt, path, and farmland down by a pixel again, and fixed amphibious mob pathfinding again.
Wow. That's so exciting.
So I'm going to assume in 1.19.60 they'll undo that again and then fix it again. Sad news for anybody that likes to use speed potions to breed super speedy horses. They have fixed it. They have stopped that from being possible, which is sad news because they were fun.
Yeah.
I thought they stopped that a long time ago because you can't do that unless it was brought back in another. Never mind.
Well, I think it was brought back because Tizzy was doing it on Stream Weekend. So it definitely is still there right this second.
Another thing that they've fixed twice now, because I've seen this in 2 recent changelog, is the fact that the piston arm will now extend more smoothly.
Whoop, whoop. I didn't know that it wasn't smooth before.
What's
I didn't.
Not smooth about it?
I don't know. I have no idea. I last time we read this in the changelog, I was like, I need to check this out and see what a smooth piston looks like, and forgot. And no doubt I'll forget again after this one, because I would like to see what a smooth piston arm looks like. I think maybe they've just planed the wood a bit, made it maybe put some varnish on it or something. I don't know. But apparently that's also going to fix the flickering blocks that you get with pistons as well. So
I mean, when they
that's
flash
actually
white,
nice.
Yeah.
So that would be nice.
We will see if that's been fixed. Again, another one that's in this changelog that we've already had is huge fungus won't break partial blocks. Again. So
okay.
Are we getting some deja vu with this?
That's what it seems like.
I'm looking at the one directly above that you jumped over, and I'm like, wasn't that fixed last week?
Oh, yeah, I skipped one that was fixed last week. The black corruption on maps has been fixed again. But this time, apparently, if you actually go to the area where your corrupted map was, again, it will fill back in with the actual chunks, whereas before they would just stopped it happening, I think. So there's a little bit more to that fix. Other interesting news with Enderman, they have increased their follow range to 64 blocks, which means that if an Enderman is locked onto you, it's targeting you, even if you're 64 blocks away, it will still be able to find you, whereas before it was 32 blocks, so you've got to run a bit further to escape.
That's an interesting one there. That one always makes me laugh, or something like that, because your despawn radius is 44. So that just proves that the Enderman outside of that range can still be tracked. The game can still recognize it and see it. Why do we got a 44 despawn and not? Never mind.
I genuinely don't know the answer to that, Slack. You can run commands on mobs that are not in your simulation distance. And what my entity debug pack, one of the main reasons I made it was just to sort of try and highlight and get it out there more that the area you log into the world all of those mobs just are persistent for the whole time you're in the world, no matter where you go. So you can run commands on a mob that's 10,000, 100,000, 3 million blocks away if that's where you spawned in. It's ridiculous.
You want to know a funnier one? I don't understand it. I seen it the other day and I thought it was just nonsense until I watched it happen. T-Man was in a world showing me a new bug. I don't know. I don't have a bug tracker on there, nothing yet. Redstone working over regions.
What?
Regions,
Oh, really?
Setting up a clock in like, say 100 by 100 and then going out to 2000 by 2000 and connecting it up via line, and it works.
What?
That
Yes.
seems wrong.
Yep.
There's
Over
some
regions. It spans whole regions. Redstone's working. It's the most broke thing I've ever seen. It confused my head. But like if you took a turn like and went like 90 degrees this way for like 200 blocks and then it would quit. But if you go back 10 blocks and then keep going another 2000, it'll keep working. I don't understand it. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
This feels a lot like potentially the cause of like everybody moaning that 1.19.30 was really laggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I've never seen it before. It's the weirdest thing. Like I had to turn this, he was streaming it in Discord and I was like, I can't watch this. This hurts my head. This makes no sense. And that's with nobody else in the world. No ticking areas, nothing.
Oh,
That's
wow.
bizarre. Is that on a server or a single player?
Single player.
Wow. Okay. Gee. Okay. Well, the last thing on my list from this particular preview, although the change log on this one's ridiculous, it's really, really long. So if you're interested in that, of course, you can click on the link that will be in the description below. But yeah, it is something that might worry a few people, but I wouldn't worry. And that is for the people that use the cheaty DNS hacks to access servers on consoles because the servers broadcast as a LAN device. They are now adding a switch or basically a toggle in the server properties for the Bedrock dedicated server to enable the LAN visibility. So I believe that means it will be off by default. So if you find yourself, your realm members all start complaining, we can't play on your world anymore because we can't find it in our LAN worlds on our consoles, then you might want to tell your server operators to just enable that setting once this is obviously out in this isn't now, this is when this comes out probably in November.
Seems like an odd change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's one of those things where I wonder if that affects it coming up in like Friends, you know, when Friends are on a server and it shows
Maybe.
the world. I don't know. It does seem like a bit of an odd change, but it is the change. It's in the change log. So there you go.
Well, it'll be in there next week too, you know.
It will, and probably the week after. And then 1.19.60, I'm sure it'll be in there as well.
Yeah. They've made changes to it. They've disabled it next week and re-enabled it the next, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And that's it for the news. There's literally been nothing else happen this week, nothing worth talking about. So we'll move on to feedback, shall we, guys?
Yeah, sounds good.
No.
No?
No.
Have you got some news, Jessie?
Yeah. We
What-
had
what
Minecraft. We had Minecraft Live. What are you doing?
Oh,
What you
yeah,
doing?
but we didn't really get much, did we?
No, it doesn't
Not
matter.
really worth talking about.
We have to talk about the 2 seconds of Minecraft feedback there was. Come on.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right. If we must, Jessie. Wow. Okay. Okay. So Minecraft Live obviously was broadcast last week. It was at the weekend. And it was a strange show. And that's not that. Before we start, I just want to put out there that I'm not complaining at how bad the update's going to be and that the developers are rubbish, this, that, and the other. That is not my complaint. I think the whole thing was weird, and it was probably going to be weird because of the way they reacted to the previous last couple of live events where they had an awful lot of negative feedback from social media, Twitter, Reddit, the player base in general. So, but the strange thing was, it's like the last few Minecraft lives we've had have had less and less going on. So obviously before they went to a live when it was Minecon and it was an actual event, it was normally a 2-day event. They had all sorts of crazy stuff going on, dressing up competitions and loads. They had different developers on stage. They had content creators on stage and they would talk to them. And it was a massive, massive big deal. I remember the one I went to in 2015, which of course is going back a long time now, but they had like dancers on stage and huge, big stuff going on. And it was all broadcast, part of the live stream. It was fantastic. And then it went live And we got a lot of that in the first one, that it was live instead of Minecon. And I think obviously that was due to COVID, right?
Yeah.
But they still had the fancy dress competitions. It still went on for a long time. They still had, like, they sat down with developers to talk about certain things. They sat down with content creators and talked about certain things. And it was a full show.
Yep.
And then last year, there was a bit less than that. And then this year, there was nothing. They had Minecraft Legends, which obviously they're going to make a big deal about because it's their new game that's coming out. Minecraft Dungeons, which is probably getting towards the end of its life, I would imagine, but they announced some more DLC for that and some free DLC for that. And then the tiniest little bit for actual Minecraft, which would be fine because obviously the reason they say, oh, you know, we're only going to show, because of the feedback we've had, we've learned from that, we're only going to show features that are a long way through development. Fine, I get it. That makes sense. We don't want to be having repeats of everybody going, oh, but you showed us this, but you didn't get that, because people are unable to decide between what they're going to get and what they're actually going to get, and it makes them all upset. I get that. But why, if they have nothing to show in October, and they do the show somewhere, you know, when they're ready? Why don't they do it later on when they've got more stuff to show us? I don't get it. What do you guys think?
Slack, you want to go first?
I'll let you.
Okay. So I agree with you. I definitely think that it felt like they had to put on a show, but it felt so, I don't know how to say this nicely. Like it yes, yeah. It was very forced. It was very much so like, we have to give them something. We have to give them something right now. So let's focus on the community positive side and kind of hide the lack of content, is what it felt like. It felt very much like, if we just try and make as many people happy with choices that we're making, then maybe they won't worry so much about like what actual things are being added into Minecraft. To me, that's what it felt like.
I've skimmed through them in the past. I never really watched them completely. This is the first one I sat down and watched the whole thing on. And personally, I felt let down because it felt more about promoting new non-Minecraft stuff. Even though it is Minecraft, they were really hard on Minecraft Legends and Dungeons. It felt like they intentionally started the show with, how do I put this, the lowballers, you know? And they kept you there and they kept you there, and then you got 5 minutes worth of actual Minecraft content that could have been summarized in 30 seconds. Yeah. I felt really let down. I felt like they were really trying to push Legends bad. They're really strenuous on trying to push Legends, and they were throwing Dungeons a line out there talking about this and new content. It felt more marketplace driven than anything I've seen in the past, and that's what I didn't like. But that's my own, I guess, personal preference. Maybe I'm crazy about that, but it really felt like they were pushing the new stuff to make money off of, and not Minecraft anymore. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So the pre-show was basically most of the Hermitcraft people telling you all that it's good to play with friends, and playing on servers is great fun, and you should play Minecraft with friends on servers. So that was clearly, obviously, Mojang going, hey guys, we want you to say this. So we're probably not saying this, but so we can generate more sales. Yeah, because we got nothing in the live show to drum up any hype. They got one opportunity a year to get people engaged and riled up and excited but they do it 3 months after the update's just come out, 9 months before the next one. And when you're not going to talk about anything that might be coming, when you don't even give us a name for the next update, then you're not getting any pre-hype. And then when that 9 months is over and done, there's going to be very little hype coming through, other than the people that watch the snapshots and play the snapshots and watch content creators putting out videos on that. The general player base has got nothing. So again, I come back to, if they put the show on in March instead of in October, when things were a lot further down the line development wise, and there was only a few months to go before it came out, if they had the confidence in themselves to develop all of these features that they come up with, where the Minecraft magic used to be, and we used to get these amazing things, without having to go, oh yeah, we need 9 months worth of the community to bug test it for us. No, be confident in your work, get it done, and then give us 3 months to test it once you're happy with it, you know? And then there would be this massive hype thing. But it for me, and I don't know whether this is the case or not, but it just feels like they've lost their confidence.
It feels like I got clickbaited too. Yep, that's the best way to put it. Yep.
Yeah, and in terms of Legends and Dungeons, I don't mind them having a spot there, but if they're going to be big games, why not give them their own event?
Yeah, I get why they put it where they put it, but I wish that if it was going to be that long or that featured, that we would have gotten more of the actual Minecraft part. And I think that's what just didn't sit well with me, is that we literally had like 5 minutes of Minecraft and the whole rest of the show was just other junk that I personally did not care about. And I say junk, I shouldn't have said junk. That's a mean thing to say, but it's...
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It has no bearing to you.
No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with me. I'm a content creator making Minecraft content. I don't care about Legends. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Sure, you know, there's an audience for it. I get that. But, you know, call it, you know, what?
Spin-off.
Yeah, like, yeah, it just felt very much like they were sitting us there under like false pretenses. Like I was there to see what new exciting things were coming up in relation to the game. And they were just like, no, but this other new stuff that we like, come on, like it too. And it just felt weird.
I honestly wouldn't have cared if they hadn't have shown us any features and just given us a theme instead. And I know I'm going to get to this in a minute, that they do have a theme, apparently, but they don't. They didn't give us a name. They're just like, we don't even know what to call it. You know, we want the community to help us. No, you pick it. You're Mojang. You tell us. You tell us what you're doing. That's what we're here for. And you've got okay, so Minecraft Live or Minecon is one time a year. If the time that you show that doesn't have anything that gets people even engaged in watching the live show, people aren't going to watch the live show next year. So then your one chance a year to bring in the whole community and generate hype's gone. So then what do you do? Other than just spam Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And spam the marketplace button, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of stuff that was shown, and they did quite clearly say there is going to be more to it. So I'm confident that 1.20 is going to be an update full of stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is, although, you know, KingBDogs says in his tweet, the update does have a theme. We just intentionally decided not to give it a name initially so we can shape the update with the community and give a name that fits its contents. There isn't a theme. They kept saying there's a theme. What is the theme?
Well,
it was supposed to be representation, right? Like that's the theme of the update.
Call it the representation update then. None of them said, not a single person actually expressed what the theme was. There was a lot of waffle, there was a lot of jargon, there was a lot of buzzwords, but there was no actual theme. And I think, again, this just all comes down to lack of confidence in themselves to say, this is what we're doing. Don't rely on the community. Stop it. Why? What? We don't know. I can't make a game. I don't have Mojang magic that creates things like Elytra and Shulkers and all the crazy stuff that Mojang's come up with in the past. Yeah, I've got loads of ideas. We've got an ideas bin full of stuff, but we don't know if that's Mojang-able.
Mm-hmm.
They should do it. That's their job. The thing that's made them so popular and such a big game for the last, 13 years is their ability to wow us. They are like what Steve Jobs was for Apple. He walked on stage and captivated everybody just by saying stuff. And he could have said the most insignificant thing, but you were hooked. And that's what Mojang used to be like. But they haven't got that anymore. It's gone. Where's it gone and why?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I remember the first Minecons that I ever watched. And I even went to the one that was in LA, or not LA. I think it was Anaheim, actually. Anyway, the convention center out here by me. I went, I forget what year that was, but it was so interesting. I remember the feeling that everyone in the audience had. I remember like the excitement that was there. And I haven't felt that in a really long time. I mean, I think even the first at home one, right? Even though it was different and I wasn't a huge fan of not being able to go in person, right? It still had the energy. There was energy there. There was excitement there. And along the way, it's just gotten more and more, 1, boring, 2, uninteresting, and 3, like...
stale.
Selly. Like
yeah, selling. Well, that's the point of it. That is the whole point of the convention, is to get people buying the game. But
I
now
totally get it. But it's
just
so apparent.
It's all the ads, but none of the content now, isn't it?
Like before it was, the showmanship, right? Like I knew they were trying to sell me something, but they did it in a pretty package. Now it's literally just some guy on stage going, you should buy this because you like all the other stuff we do, so you'll like this too. And that's weird.
They didn't need to sell it to us before. It sold itself.
Yeah.
With the crazy stuff they come up with, and the names, the combat update. Wow, what's that going to have in it? I'm so excited to find out. We didn't know all the stuff that was going to come. The end update. You had a theme. You knew what you were going to be getting in your head. You could imagine. And with this one, there's absolutely no imagination. And I want to say maybe it's just because we're a bit old and they're aiming it at a younger audience now, to get in the next wave, the next generation of players, and make sure the kid. But it's not. You sit a kid in front of that, and you tell me if that kid was impressed or they walked off and started playing on their iPad again.
Ethan didn't care.
Exactly.
He did not care.
Even with Hat Guy.
Yeah, no, he was completely uninterested. He was sad that Rascal lost.
Look at me, I'm the hat guy. I've got a hat on. Everything's good because I'm wearing a hat. Look at me.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing. Like anytime I think about Minecon, I think about the Nether update. Do you remember when they just kind of sprung it on us and how excited everyone was? Like that was a massive update. That was huge. There was so much that changed. And like they didn't give us everything. They didn't tell us everything that was going to be there. They did like this really awesome panorama shot and like just like zipped through it. And they were like, oh yeah, this is some stuff you'll see. And we were like, I need to go there. I hate the Nether. And I was like, I need to go there. Yeah, I miss that. I miss that.
Even the one after that, the first Caves and Cliffs ones, when they showed off the dripstone and we were analysing all of the screenshots to see if there are any secrets in there. And, oh, look, there's this block that they didn't mention. And there's that. Oh, look, what's that white block? Turned out it was calcite. Everyone was saying it was something else. That was exciting, being able to pick it apart. That didn't exist with this one. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez. Slack, come on. Be the voice of reason. Tell us why we're wrong.
I don't have a voice of reason in this situation. The only thing I can think of is the theme issue. I mean, I was just sitting here while you were talking and I was thinking about theme. What's the only thing that's themed with everything that they've revealed so far? It all looks like desert survival stuff. And I mean, how exciting would the desert update be? I mean,
what? Yeah.
Look, you got camels, you got signs, you got the bookcases, and everything is either really sandy, yellow, in that tone. So that really feels like that's the only way this update is going at this moment in time. Hopefully they got more too.
They're also disconnected as well, though. Like right, okay, let's just go through the features that they showed, and let's just talk about those quickly. So they're giving bamboo wood a whole new purpose. They're going to give bamboo its own wood block, like all the other wood. So it'll come in stairs and slabs and doors and trapdoors and all that sort of good stuff, which is great. I love the fact they're doing that. Personally, for me, I don't like the look of it. I thought it was quite ugly, but I know a lot of people thought it was really pretty. Jessie, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't like it.
No.
I think the coloring is really off. When I think bamboo, like, yes, it is yellow, but it's the saturation is weird. So, I mean, but that's
and the contrast as well. There's like the really dark bits and the really bright bits. To me, I think my thing that I said in the Discord at the time when it was on was it looks like they're trying to give Diorite a rival for worst looking block in the game.
Yeah.
But if they tone that down a bit, I can imagine that being really nice. But it's another birch block, isn't it? It's very, very that colour.
Yeah.
So then you've got the other bamboo, the bamboo mosaic, which is, again, that was blocks, stairs, slabs that you could see on there. And that was interesting as well. Again, very contrasty, very vibrant, not my favourite colour, but I like the idea of it. I guess if they can do some texture work on that and get that looking a little bit less in your face, that will be a lovely block.
Yeah, I will say, I don't know if you've like really looked at the picture or whatever. If they fixed the contrast issues and like the color a little bit, the trapdoors for the bamboo might be my favorite trapdoor. It's stunning.
Yeah,
even the door, great. So like I like the design. It's just the color. The color's a little off for me.
Okay, fair enough. Slack, any thoughts on bamboo before we move on to the next feature?
I just did a quick Google search because I'm curious. My brain's going down a rabbit hole right now. Oasis. You can have bamboo deserts in desert.
Really? There's bamboo in oases?
Well, there's bamboo in deserts.
Oh,
there?
Well, there you go. I did not know that.
I thought it's a rainforest
Yeah, I thought so too.
thing.
No, bamboo can thrive and grow in deserts and just requires lots of water. That's all it says.
Yeah,
But
it's like literally made of water bamboo.
Yeah.
So, but then I guess so are cactuses. So.
It thrives in warm regions. Look,
Yeah.
the camels deal with cactus. I'm betting you there's going to be more desert themed stuff coming.
I think that's
Maybe.
a good hypothesis.
Everything is like bleached out blocks too, like the new bookcases. Isn't that what's next?
Okay, so yeah, bookcases. So the bookcases, I thought they were really interesting because they've gone from our standard bookcase, which we can have in a variety of wood blocks, to a brand new type of bookcase, which you can actually put your books in. It works with redstone. I think they said it will remember the last book you put in, so you can use a specific book on it to actually trigger it. So it's not like you've got 6 books in your inventory and you just click on the bookcase 6 times and they go in their own slot. I feel like you can actually point at the specific slot in the bookcase you want that book to go in and arrange it the way you want it to go, which is nice. So I think they're really smart. The top of those was pretty. The top of the block, there was a new design that they were obsessed about being new flooring. The side of the block had a new design, and I liked those as well. But they didn't mention if they come in the different wood varieties, and if they don't, they're going to be quite limited.
Yeah, if they don't, they're going to be quite limited for sure.
Unless everybody's going to start building out of bright yellow wood.
Yeah, I really do hope that colored bookshelves comes in. I've wanted that for so long, so it would be really nice.
Well, yeah, they're like you're getting a new one. You got the original one, and now you got this one.
I know, right? 2 different ones.
Will they take the original one away though, or will they keep it?
I think they're going to keep it for sure.
Why would they get rid of the original one?
Well,
have they ever gotten rid of a block?
Well, no, but if this is a bookshelf upgrade rather than just a new bookshelf, I mean, what's the thinking? I mean, just because they showed off a new block doesn't mean it's necessarily a new block. You know, they've retextured plenty of blocks before. So I don't know. If they give it all the different wood variants, I don't mind if it's a retexture and the old one's gone. If it's just on its own and we lose all the other bookcases, then I'll be a little bit annoyed.
Yeah. In that situation, then I'll be annoyed. Yeah.
However, I am quite glad. Oh no, I was going to say it's not going to interfere with villagers, but it's not the bookcase, is it? It's the lectern, isn't it? So yeah, ignore that. Okay, before we get to the third one, we'll go on to camels, just because you've mentioned it a few times already, Slack. So. So they're bringing in camels, which obviously are a desert mob. They're going to have they'll be capable of ridden by 2 players. The person at the back can spin all the way around if they want to be doing things like combat. The camel's tall enough that mobs or standard sized mobs can't reach you, so you've got some safety on there as well. They are really slow, but apparently if you can get going on a long enough, flat enough bit of ground, you can do a dash thing and jump over ravines and rivers and things like that. So that all looked interesting. They're going to be breedable with cactus, so you can breed them. And I didn't mind the camel. I've got no problem with the camel. I don't think I bother with them like I don't bother with horses because Elytra exists. But
yeah,
if they've got a specific drop, maybe we could have camel farms. But I can't see other than that there's a great deal of use in them or point in having them. But it would be nice to go to a desert and see a camel, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be used for longer than a couple weeks in game. And that's assuming that you have a reason to be in a desert. You need a reason.
Yeah. Well, if the desert's going to be all fully updated, Slack, I mean, we've been asking them for a desert update for long enough. Maybe this is the thing that brings us all over to the desert for a season or 2.
If you're going to put us in the desert, please give us a new desert tree.
Palm trees, come on, that's got to be the next thing they introduce, surely. Surely.
Cool.
Okay, so the last... Jesse, have you got anything you want to talk about camels?
No, I mean, I'm not somebody who is like a hoarder of mobs. Like, so I don't really care about a lot of the like passive mobs, and I just go to the end and get wings and then fly. So this is not for me, but I'm sure it's for many, many people.
Yeah. Okay. So the last one, I think we're all in agreement. Is I don't know whether we'll all agree that it's our favorite one. It's certainly my favorite one, but it's the thing that I think stands out the most as something genuinely useful that's going to add to our builds, and that's hanging signs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was going to be nice.
Yeah. So the difference here, though, they're not the normal sign textures. They're actually made with stripped plank rather than normal plank.
Thought that was interesting.
Nice. It's quite a nice look, and they can be hung 3 different ways. So you've got either them hanging from a full block with 2 chains coming down, or they can be hanging from the side of a block with their own like bit of wood that sticks out the top, I guess, a bit like when you hang a bell from the side. Or they can be hung from a thin block like a fence post or even another chain or another hanging sign, and dangled them down with a little V shape. So I thought that's a really nice way of doing it. I thought they looked amazing. I'm looking forward to using those.
Yeah, me
I hope
too.
they're not laggy.
Oh, well, now that you've said that.
The glow signs are, aren't they? If they can fix glow signs with this, that would be really nice, guys. I really would appreciate that.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
We're not just here to bash on your show, honest. We're the good feedback and all that. Oh, geez. Okay, so the theme then. Let's get to that. The theme that they vaguely referenced and sort of talked around the houses with, again, feeling like they didn't really have the confidence to say it, it's kind of like a diversity thing, isn't it? It's about being inclusive for everybody around the world. So we got 7 different skins, 7 new different default skins on top of Alex and Steve, so 9 altogether with different varying skin colors and tones and things like that, which was great. I'm glad they've added those. I don't see them taking off big like Steve and Alex had, because, maybe if they've had 3 or 4, maybe, but having 9 of those now, of course, the new generations of people coming in to play Minecraft, that'll just be standard, so it won't make any difference to them. But all of the OGs will, I think a lot of people only still refer to Steve, don't they? Alex is still an afterthought. So I think it's a nice thing to do. But yeah, the theme was enabling basically people from different cultures, which is why the bamboo wood was there, because a lot of people in the world grow up with bamboo as their main sort of source of building material, and that's why the camels came in, because of those sorts of things. So the update theme, I guess, it's a inclusivity, diversity, enabling update, but they were talking about stories, creating your own stories in Minecraft, and enabling basically freedom of expression, right?
Yeah.
So in the game that is the biggest and best game in the world for freedom of expression, that's what they're going to focus this update on. And I'm not knocking them doing all of these things for being inclusive for other people. I think it's a great thing to do, but to focus the update on being something that Minecraft is already the best thing in the world at just seems a bit of a wasted concept, because they could have added these things in without that, without having to draw everything to that point, right?
Yeah. It's an interesting thing, and I saw somebody tweet that they found it interesting that they were focusing on being inclusive, and yet Bedrock still doesn't have subtitles, and they also don't have any kind of thing for people who are colorblind. And I was like, that's an interesting thing, right? Because being inclusive is a very, very massive like wormhole, right? Because you're never,
it's a touchy subject for a lot of people.
Exactly. You're never going to be able to make everybody feel seen and included. But I like that they are trying. And I will say, like, one of my favorite things about the new characters is I noticed the one who had a prosthetic arm. And I thought that was cool. Yeah. The guy with the bandana, the little, like, he had the little bandana. He had a prosthetic arm. And I thought, that's a neat thing. Like, it was just a neat thing to see. So I am a fan of making people feel seen and wanted. I just think that if you're going to do that, you're going to have to be really careful. Because already, like I said, I have seen multiple tweets being like, but what about us? And it's like, it's
I've
gonna
only
be
got
a thing.
one eye. What about me?
Yeah. So
My left ear is bigger than the other one. What about me? Yeah, I do. The world's a fickle. Is that the word?
yeah, fickle.
Finicky place. It's difficult. You can't. And when you start opening those doors, it's very difficult to close them again.
Agreed.
So, this is why I come back to confidence, because it's a brave move to do that. It is a brave move because whilst seemingly, particularly again on social media and even in the main media, there is a lot of people that are very, very pro left wing, strong left wing. Some people way too far the other way, but it's a whole minefield of a place.
Yeah.
More and more things do seem to be headed in that direction. But when they do, there is a big wall of the other side pushing against it. So to go into that and do that, it's a brave thing to do, which would make me wonder, the reason why they haven't gone, and the name of this update is because they don't want to ruffle too many feathers with this. So maybe, they're taking this in baby steps and that's why they're saying, let's get the community give the name that fits the contents, because then it's not our fault. If that makes sense.
We want you all to be the bad guy if people get mad.
Yeah. Well, they picked it, not me. So, okay. Before I get to something I haven't told you guys about this, which I think is my answer to this update, I'm going to just say something that I've forgotten. It's gone out of my head now. Jeez, I'm really good at this. Oh man. Okay. Well, forget that then. The other thing I wanted to touch on is obviously we got a new mob vote. Oh, that was it. That's brought me back to where I was. So we got the mob vote, the sniffer. Okay. The sniffer won. There were over 3.5 million votes and over 50% of those chose the sniffer, which is amazing. I can't believe that the tough golem came last. I actually voted for that.
Yeah, I voted for that. I don't believe that. Too many people.
Wait,
it's
what?
a very, very strange thing.
What don't you believe? Sorry,
The
totally
tough golem
missed that.
came last.
Oh, I
Tough
believe
Golem
it.
coming in last.
Believe it 1000%.
Really?
Every person I have talked to under the age of 20 voted for the rascal. Every single one.
Really?
Everyone.
Wow, okay.
Ethan wanted, yeah. Oh man, Ethan was talking forever, and when the rascal did not win, he cried. Because he was like, it's cute, it's fun, it's gonna bring me cool stuff. And he was like all for it. He was all in. And I was like, that's really interesting, because obviously.
Did you say to him, you do realize it's like down in the bottom of the world where most kids don't go?
I was like, baby, it's gonna be in mine shafts, where there's like the spiders that poison you. And he goes, it's okay. I'll play on creative. And I was like,
fair enough. Okay, well now we know why the tough golem lost.
It's everyone I know under 20, literally. And I know a lot of people who do. So I didn't even take that into consideration, because I thought for sure Tough Golem was going to be number 2. I thought it was going to be a lot closer. I knew Sniffer was going to win because of the presence everywhere. But I thought it was going to be Tough Golem versus. And then, the hubs was just like, you're dumb. Little kids play this game. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Okay, so the what I wanted to get to with this mob vote was that their theme of this update is to get the community to give them ideas and do it for them, right? But every single year for the last few years, they've had a mob vote where it feels like maybe 3 or 4 of them stood round the water cooler or the coffee machine and went, we need to come up with 3 mobs for this year's vote that we don't really care about and aren't going to cause too many problems in the game. Wouldn't it be better, right, if they remembered that there is the Minecraft feedback website where people have been requesting stuff for literally years? And it genuinely feels like they've forgotten that exists, because they keep asking for feedback. They keep asking for community ideas. And if you go to that website, which we go to every week, there's still stuff on there for Minecraft Earth. There's stuff on there for asking about, can we have a Nether update from 2015? It's old. They need to go through, sort it out. And instead of doing a mob vote, which generally speaking, apart from the kids, no one cares about, they don't even care about it. Why don't they go, right, we are going to pick the top 3 most voted feedback things, and whichever one wins, right? So they pick the top 3 that have been most voted for online, and then they do a vote on those in game. And whichever one wins out of those, they put that in the game, right?
Yeah.
Then people are actually, then you've got that community side of things. The community feels like they're getting something that they actually want. Whereas at the moment, the community don't really care about these mob votes, because the mob votes, the Mojang have come up with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't Minecraft Live be better, or Minecraft updates just be better if Mojang go, we're coming up with the update name, we're coming up with the update stuff, but we are going to include the community by featuring one of the things. So at the moment, the 3 highly most voted things are fruit trees and bushes, bed sheets with banner designs, and backpacks. Okay, backpacks will probably win that if they put it to a vote, but then the community's getting some input on what they want, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they do that? Why mob vote? Why these 3 ridiculous mobs that are totally disconnected from the game?
I don't know. It would make more sense.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's
They've got it backwards. they've got it totally backwards. They go, we're going to come up with these 3 mobs and then let you pick them, but we don't know what to do for the update. So, man, it just baffles me. It really does. It really does. So, okay. So my idea for this update that gives them the things they want. Okay, you ready for this, guys?
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a big idea. This is what my video was focused on, but I'm going to tell you on the podcast instead. So the theme of the update was enabling freedom of expression and creativity.
Yep.
Okay, right now I am Lady Agnes from Minecraft Live, and I'm going to start teasing you with the best update you've ever heard of, that will take me as Mojang hardly any time to develop. It'll be dead easy, but it'll be the best thing you've ever wanted in your life, okay? Okay. So I have come up with and created a way for players to be able to have the freedom of creativity in creative mode without any distractions as part of the survival game, without affecting survival gameplay or the game as a whole. How does that sound?
Color me intrigued. Interesting.
Okay. So, you guys were right. The structure in the ancient cities, that big one that you all knew was a portal, is a portal. And that is a portal to a brand new dimension called the Empty. Okay?
Okay.
Inside the Empty, when you go through, there is nothing. It is a void. Absolutely nothing there other than the portal structure that will be on the other side. And inside that Empty, you are effectively a creative mode player, apart from you can only have the items that you have got in your inventory from survival. So there's no creative inventory, but you can fly around, build however you want. You can insta-break blocks with just your hands, so you don't need to take up loads and loads of room in your inventory with tools and equipment, which fixes the inventory problem. And you can't die, you can't fall in the void, no mobs spawn in there, there's no hostile mobs. So it's just total free range to do what you want. And there's no random ticking in there either, so things won't grow. So what you place stays exactly as you placed it. If you want to take mobs in there from the overworld, you can take them in through the portal, and you can have your villagers in there and breed up your animals. That's absolutely fine. But as for everything else, every block you place stays exactly the place you want it. But there's more, okay? Each ancient city portal doesn't just create the same dimension, it creates its very own empty dimension. And the first block that you throw through, so you light the portal, you throw a block or an item through, and that item sets the theme of that empty. So let's say you want your empty to be an underwater world. So you want the entire thing filled from the bottom of the world to the top of the world, just water, and maybe like the sky block grid around the outside is some sort of underwater theme. You throw a bucket of water through before you go in. That sets that one. You go to another ancient city, you throw a piece of jungle wood through. So then you get the whole thing is just jungle biome, and the background, like the sky block in the distance, is like the jungle theme, and it's a really hot sun, something like that. So you can theme your world however you want. What do you think?
That could be really, really cool.
So the overworld's exactly the same, the nether's the same, the end's the same, but all of a sudden you've now got infinite dimensions that can all be however you want them to be. You don't have to use them. You can use them. You can go in there and use it as a redstone testing world. You could go in there and just, totally create to your heart's content and build all of your test stuff in there.
Could I go to one of these cities and throw a piece of sand through and then have a free mining desert?
Yeah. No, because it's a void. It's just a total void for you to build in. So that they kept going on about during this live show that they want the players to make the decisions and tell the stories. So it's a place where you can go and tell your story however you want without having to worry about landscaping, without having to worry about creepers, without having to worry about flying up or scaffolding so that you can get to the top of it or fall off, without having to worry about a daylight cycle. You just go in there as if you were in creative mode and just build.
How would that be for lag?
Well, it would be completely lag-free because it's an empty world.
Except for what you do.
Yeah. Just with like the rest of the world. So if you go in there and build a lag machine of doom, it's going to be laggy. Well, there's no different from building it in the overworld.
Yeah, that's just what I would be concerned about, is if there was like a redstone testing world available in your world. Oh man, I'm thinking about people like we have on our server who would then just like, it would be insane.
Yeah, but you'd say, as a server owner, you would say, look, okay, the same rules apply in the empty, no laggy farm. Well, you wouldn't be able to really have farms in there because no mobs would spawn and there'd be no ticking. So there'd be very few farms you could actually do. But, even if you do redstone testing stuff or furnaces or anything like that to smelt your items, you just have to have the same rules. The same rules apply as the overworld. Don't build crazy farms. And if you're going to build crazy farms, don't AFK at them while there's other people online.
Fair. Yeah, I'd be okay with this.
Yeah. So that would take very little work for them to do, right? Because there's nothing in it.
Yeah. Sounds like he's thinking.
Nah, I don't like it. I genuinely don't like it.
We call it the empty update. You don't like it? Why don't you like it?
It's an update of nothing. Then it's. Oh yeah, we're giving you void worlds. Yay! Thanks.
I love it. I want it.
I guess it'd be. I mean, you could have access to do Sky Islands and stuff like that through one of those portals. Then
you do whatever you want in there. It's your own completely blank canvas. You can paint whatever picture you want. You can play Skyblock, or you can. Oh yeah, you can do anything. It'd be amazing.
I'm still not sold on it, but okay.
Well, you don't have to be sold on it because it doesn't exist. Because I made it up. But I think that if they'd have done that, if they were honestly worried about like how much work they're having to do for these updates and getting stuff out, how much excitement would there have been from that? I know you obviously didn't like it, Slack, but something like that where they announce all of this cool stuff that you can do and they keep going, and you can do this. Oh, not just that, but you can do this as well. But realistically, there's very little there.
Yeah.
That's hype. That gets you excited. And that's all they need to do.
Yeah, because they don't have none yet. I mean, yeah, I've been going down my rabbit hole over here.
Slack not listening. Slack fell asleep during the news.
But I'm trying to remember all the biome votes now, so I've dug into it. In 2019, the biome votes was mountains, swamps, and badlands. Okay, we haven't got the badlands, but we got everything that was promised in the swamps, and we've got everything that was promised in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that, 2018, we voted between taigas, savannas, and deserts. Yeah. We got everything that was promised in the taigas, but they haven't touched the savannas or deserts yet.
No, so deserts and badlands update could go in well with what they've done so far on this one.
Yeah,
maybe. But they said that they didn't say it with the 2019 vote that the badlands and swamps would be in. They said the winter would be, which was the mountains, and we got that.
Yeah.
But they did say on the 2018 vote, when we voted for the taiga, swamp, and desert, that the others would come in time.
They did.
Yeah. They said the others would come in time. And the desert's supposed to be bringing camels, the meek rats, or whatever, however you say it, and oasis and stuff like that. Meerkats, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to say that one.
Yeah, it's meerkats.
I like meek rats. I think they sound ace. I want a meek rat.
Yep.
They look more like rats than cats, to be fair.
Hey, I'm horrible at words. If you need me to rename
I
stuff,
like that. Yeah.
I can do it all the time. Yep. Hey, let's give it a different name so it's not real life then, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Oh, man. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing that obviously stands out that they didn't announce, which seems a bit strange, maybe it will come over the next few months, is this would be the perfect update to put the archaeology stuff back in.
Yep. With
Yeah.
desert stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if it's all about telling your own story, that's the whole point of the archaeology update, wasn't it? Making those pots and telling your own story.
I
right?
thought they said that was canned. I thought they said
Well,
that
yeah,
was
so
done.
did I. But
No.
then the other people have said that it's back in their ideas bin.
Okay.
Oh.
Why are they calling this a dino then? Dino.
It's an ancient animal. It's not. A
Yeah, I was
dinosaur.
going to say they
Right.
didn't. I think
Close
we've
enough.
been calling it.
Well, okay. Well, so it's an ancient extinct animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What better time if you're dealing with extinct stuff is to bring back the archaeology? Yep.
Well, don't forget, there is a very high likelihood that the sniffer won't be in 1.20 because they're normally
yeah.
in the update after.
After.
The next one. However, with them having so long between now and that coming out, and realistically, the sniffer. I could make that in 2 days. You know, it's not a big thing to make. That's for Bedrock Edition, not Java Edition. I'll get to that in a minute because I had a big showdown with KingBDogs on Twitter about this.
I'm interested now.
Oh, yeah.
It's I really don't see why they couldn't add it in. They've got the concept, they know what it looks like, they know what it does. They don't need any new AI behavior stuff for it because it can all be done with what already exists because I've already done it. I can't see why they couldn't get that out into 1.20, but let's not count our chickens because they didn't say it would be in 1.20.
They just said a future one, right?
Yeah. The LA, though, they managed to get out in the update after it was voted for. But we did have a interim update in that time as well, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So, Okay, so getting on to my Twitter conversation with KingBDogs.
Yes.
Yes,
Who's
please.
interested in this? This is still news, by the way, peeps.
My hands up.
Yep.
Just can't see
Okay.
it.
Me too.
So, KingBDogs said on Twitter in reply to Mumbling Owl Gaming, let me tell you what they said first. This is going to be quite the read. I vote for Mojang to just get rid of the darn mob vote and just add all the announced mobs into the game. Why is it got to be just one of the three? Why not three? That'd be nice. And KingBDogs said, here's the reality of Minecraft game development. Mobs take a huge amount of time to develop, and all of the mob vote candidates are concepts, not finished production code. Mobs easily take the most development time out of every feature type. Just the bugs and parity issues that arise out of AI alone add months of work. It's not feasible to just add all three, or rather, it might be possible, but there wouldn't be much time for anything else in the update, which I don't think anyone in the community would want. So KingBDogs there telling us that in order to make 3 mobs to add into the game, it would take the entire development process time from the entire development process team, which I didn't agree with.
I don't agree with neither.
No. Didn't they
No.
just spend like part of the thing talking about art showing the mob creation thing?
Make
like,
a mob in 30
Yeah.
seconds.
that they
Yeah.
literally that was part of
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
spiel.
Yeah.
So okay. Interesting choice there, buddy.
Yeah, so I can't speak for developing on Java Edition. I know that's harder than it is on Bedrock Edition. And the block bench thing that they were talking about was Bedrock Edition. And I realized that when you're working in a work environment, you not only just working on the thing you've got in front of you, you've got a priority list, you've got calls, you've got meetings, you've got distractions, you've got conversations, you've got days off. It's your job. You're not there 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I get that. And I was obviously working for a big corporation that's like the top of its game, and there's the biggest game in the world. There's a lot of eyes looking at them. There'll be a lot of decision making. And we know from all of the stuff they showed us about the development of the Warden, how many iterations they went through, how much concept art there was, and how many months it was before they even got to looking at the code. However, the fact is they've already done the concept work for the sniffer. The sniffer and all 3 mobs, the concept was there. They told us what they will look like exactly. They told us how big they will be, and they told us exactly what they will do. Right? And all 3 of them don't require any new AI for what's already in Bedrock Edition. I can quite easily make all 3, and I almost said, in fact, I put a vote out on my Discord, should I do a challenge where I just drop everything else I'm doing for this week and just see if I can make all of these 3 all of these 3 mobs in a week? And which people said yes, but then I decided, actually, I still need to, need to work on what I'm working on.
Yeah.
So I responded and I said to KingBDogs, once you've got the concepts and designs, creating a new mob is quick, a couple of days for a single developer. That's assuming you don't need new AI behaviors, which for this year's mobs, I don't think you do. I could make all of this year's mobs with add-ons. To which KingBDogs replied, add-ons aren't played by millions of players who are very happy to point out the hundreds of problems with AI. You'd be amazed how many bugs, whether you think they're important or not, are important to our wide demographic of players. Also, it still needs to be added in Java. So basically what KingBDogs is saying to me there is, look, son, your crappy add-ons that are riddled with bugs because you don't care about coding them properly are a load of rubbish. However,
then they shouldn't push it on the marketplace then. What? Sorry.
Well, quite. As I pointed out to KingBDogs, well, the AI that I'm using in my add-ons is the vanilla AI that the Minecraft Bedrock mobs are made with. So if you're getting lots of reports from bugs with that, then you should potentially have those fixed. What I didn't point out to him, though, is that, he says add-ons aren't played by millions of players. The 2 million plus downloads I've had for my add-ons obviously don't count then for this.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And the demographic of players that play my add-ons clearly aren't the sort of people that would play Minecraft.
No,
Definitely.
and you're just one small independent content creator. Yeah.
Get good, Foxy. Get good. It's fine.
Get good, yeah.
So I'm really sorry, KingBDogs, there, but I'm afraid your arguments are flawed in those sense. The arguments you come back at me with don't count. Yes, it's not working in the environment. Yes, I haven't considered Java Edition, which means it would take longer. But at the end of the day, it's not going to take the entire team the entire time to add in 3 mobs that you've already done the work for in terms of the concept and the artwork. Which it really irritated me, the stance on that one, because I'm just like, and then he did come back. I'm trying to find the tweet now, but he did come back and was like, look, buddy, I could have done the same thing when I was a modder in a few days, but the things are different when you work at Mojang, and I get that. But that original response was like, look, I work for Mojang and you just make rubbish add-ons, was just sort of a little bit below the belt, really.
Yeah.
It was, considering I think... Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think that second tweet, or like the one you just said, would have been a much better response. I get that it's possible, but you have to do things a certain way at Mojang. That could have been it. That literally that's fine. But the first one was like, all right, bet. That's rude.
Exactly. So, oh man. And then obviously the entire army of his followers then chimed in on that one and told me how wrong I am and how stupid I am. And of course they would all need brand new AI. So I clearly don't know what I'm talking about, even though I already have a mob that sniffs for stuff and digs up items. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, the thing that I find very derogatory about that whole conversation, now that I've heard it from an outside point of view, the thing that I find derogatory about that is the fact that, sure, you can do it with Bedrock, sure, you can do it with this, sure, you can do it with that, but it's not the holy trinity of Java. That's all I hear from it, because God forbid that Java gets something and have it for months, even years, and updates after update before Bedrock gets it. It can't go the other way around. We can't have Bedrock get something first. That's all I hear from that. And that one just irritates me, because Bedrock is treated like the redheaded stepchild. Go over there, stay in your corner, and don't talk to nobody. And it's just wrong. That one fired me up. Sorry.
No, understandable. The other tweet he sent me was, trust me, I've been in your position. When I did modding, I could have easily made all 3 mobs in Java through modding. It's just not the same. There's so much that's done behind the scenes you don't see. Sometimes things can be done but need to be refactored for the long term. So yeah, clearly there's processes in place at Mojang that mean that they're not just putting any old rubbish out the door. But I think that's a long stretch from taking up, they wouldn't be able to put anything else in the update if they added 3 mobs. I mean, when they did the Nether update, they added 5 new biomes. What was it? 5 new mobs, like millions of new blocks. I don't understand.
Wrong. You've got a developer literally calling add-ons and stuff trash. That's just so wrong in my book, when especially the only update you can rely on weekly is for them to update the marketplace. Yet you got a developer screaming that the add-ons are more or less garbage.
Well, I think this just goes to show that, yet again, even within the development team of Mojang, there is very little understanding of the marketplace and the add-ons and how it all works, because I would just assume that KingBDogs it probably doesn't even know what people use to make add-ons, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. I'm not calling him out or saying he's daft, but that's probably just not on his radar. So he's probably like aware what they made with the Minecraft engine, but I don't think. And yeah, I mean, we've all seen add-ons that other people have made that are just total rubbish, right? We've seen them. We've seen
Skyblocks put on there to sell for $20. That's a joke, Well,
not even just Marketplace, just the stuff you get from like MCPEDL and all that sort of stuff. There's some absolute junk out there that doesn't work, that does cause tons of lag. But to just assume everybody makes that I found quite offensive, because I put a lot of effort into mine.
All I could think in that minute is he said, "You're nowhere near as good as I could ever be. Get good, scrub." And not interested in what you got to say. And that may not be how it's projected, but that's how I take it. And it really bothers me.
Yeah.
I'll be the bad guy
in
this.
About this,
I don't care.
Somebody else picked up on was the fact that, like Jessiie said, obviously they're advertising this Blockbench thing to say you can make a Minecraft mob in 30 seconds. But also, they should be encouraging people to be creative at this sort of stuff, not going, "Oh no, you don't even bother because it's too difficult. You wouldn't understand." Standing there at the top of his tower, looking down on everyone, going, "No, it's too complicated for you folk to do things like that. It would take months and months and months to work on these things. You don't understand." No, don't be up there, or don't be that person. Encourage people to be creative. Go, instead of going, "Oh no, you can't do that," just turn around and go, "Do it then. Go on, show us what you can do." I don't know.
I hadn't even thought of that. I'm glad Jessiie brought that up. I mean, you were having that argument, and they literally, it was part of Minecraft Live.
It was. It's just, to me, it just very much seems like when someone gets defensive, right? Like having kids. All I got from that was, "Hey, don't point out when I say something that very easily can be disproven." It's like that defensiveness, but I don't know. I think that they put a lot of work into this stuff, and they have this feeling of wanting to have other people be happy with what they're doing. We all do that. Like, we all want people to like what we're doing. But
give it some value.
Yeah, but there was a nicer way he could have worded things. There was a better way he could have worded things. And it very much just felt like a kid being upset that you didn't like what he did. And that's okay. Like I get it. We're human. But how about don't double down and just be like, "You're right. Like it can be done, but we have to do things a certain way." Like I said earlier, like that's all that would have had to be said, is just, I get it. I get the want to have it, but there's the way that things are done. And sadly, it's just not feasible for what we have in place. Done. End of story. Okay, cool. Thank you for acknowledging that I would like 3, and being nice about it. I don't know. It's all in how you treat people and how you word things. And to me, that very much just comes off as being just being rude.
To be fair, I mean, I don't want all 3 mobs added to the game.
I don't either.
The only reason I responded to that was because I just saw what was somebody without a great deal of explanation in a position that people look up to, saying stuff that I just know is fundamentally not true in the way that it was said.
Yeah.
And I realized there's, a character limit on Twitter, and it's not easy to get across what you want to get across. But I wanted to stand up for the people that do put their heart and soul into making this sort of stuff and can do it, in a good quality and relatively quickly, and go, well, are we doing something wrong if it's not taking us months and months and an entire team to do it? No, you're not doing it wrong. It's just different.
Yeah.
Right, that is the end of the news, guys. Finally, We're only an hour and 13 minutes in.
Oh my gosh, are we really?
Yeah, we have talked the mob vote. No, not the mob vote. We've talked the Minecraft live show to death.
Yeah.
I think we can summarize by saying we are all looking forward to see what 1.20 comes. We are not putting down Mojang or how they're doing things. We just wish we had some of that magic back, and perhaps there are some ideas that they could put in place to make life a little bit easier for themselves and a little bit more fun for us.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the feedback, we've got a whole bunch of feedback. We don't have any Bugdate stuff. We've got a few wish list items and we've got a handful of questions. So, before we get to the feedback, two more things. One is I just thought of while I was getting my water was, wouldn't it be great when you want to play Minecraft with your kids, if you could just go and drop them off in the empty with a load of blocks for them to play with and not have to worry about them?
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah.
Go have fun. Thanks. Love you.
Yeah, it's like nurse, like daycare. It's great. They finally don't have to keep switching in and out of creative mode to help Oliver out. It'd be fantastic. Okay, and
Agreed.
Slack's just posted a tweet, or is it? Yeah, it's a tweet from
tweet.
Ilmango saying it was a bit weird yesterday to see Mojang showing how easy it is to create custom mobs and how everyone can do it with just their tool, and then hearing it's not possible to add multiple mobs in one update. So yeah, interesting.
So it looks like I wasn't the only one who had that thought.
No, jeez. Oh, geez. Okay, on to the feedback then, starting with Brood saying, in the last podcast, you went into more discussion about the inventory and the scrollable hotbar. That makes a lot of sense for mobile and PC, but how would that work for console where the buttons on the controller are already full up? Also, I'm not a fan of the auto refill from a shulker in your inventory. Sometimes I want to have what's in my shulker boxes stay there. Okay, Brood, first of all, put your shulker boxes down if you don't want to have the stuff coming out of them.
Yep.
Second of all, the controllers have a D-pad, and the D-pad has up and down buttons. I would suggest that when you're selected on your item in your hotbar, that when you press up or down on your D-pad, it would scroll through those, and you use your analog stick for moving your cursor around to select whichever inventory item you wanted. Or perhaps the bumper buttons or the trigger buttons could be doing that while you're in there.
Or, just as Foxy was saying there, the D-pad, because let's take another classic thing in Minecraft. You're talking about console players using the controller. Pick block is not bound by default. So you've had to bind it to something else. So why not rebind something else to the, scroll wheel?
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a few different options you've got there, basically, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason, Slack.
In the midst of listening to the podcast, I can see an issue with a non-silk touch picking at cobblestone wall turning into a sand. We'd get used to it, though. Yeah, well, it worked better as it was its own separate enchantment, and that goes back to what we were talking about. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, it was last week, yeah.
No, last week. Where if you're not using silk touch and you break down a cobble wall, it would give you sand or gravel. And if you broke down gravel without silk touch, it would give you sand and so on and so forth. Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a new enchantment would be the better option there. But I also would say that if that was in the game just on the standard pickaxe, then it'd probably just work on full blocks rather than like walls and stairs and slabs. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole world of problems.
Yeah. That would create some issues for sure.
Yeah. Okay, Jessiie, Brood again.
Yep, I was just going to say Brood again. With regards to the offhand, if they're not giving us offhand use, can they please make it so rockets can't be held by the offhand? I don't know how many times I've shift-clicked rockets to get them in and out of a chest only to have them in my offhand. Yeah, that really annoys me. It always has.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Take that away. And arrows in your offhand.
Mm-hmm.
I know people do that, but I hate it. I hate it.
Come on. You need the rockets in your offhand for your crossbow.
Nope.
I mean, that's what it's there for. It's the function. Rockets in the offhand for that good, powerful rocket crossbow, right? Right? We all use one.
No. The item used by the crossbow is the item closest to that. It doesn't have to be in your offhand, does it? It uses one. Is it the one that's like closest to the hotbar?
Yeah, it's like the closest. I think it goes from left to right and top to bottom. So, like, if you have, like, a poison-tipped arrow, and I think it's in the top left corner, it'll grab that first, I think, before it grabs your normal arrows. It's very weird, but yeah. There's a system to the logic.
So, yeah, no more rockets and arrows in hotbar. Good idea. Excellent. Good. Done.
None in hotbar neither. Okay. Bye.
Stick says, hello all, I just wanted to say that Foxy does not have a grating voice. Keep up the amazing work and remember, only watch the Minecraft Update podcast, unofficial. Yes. I'll listen to it.
Yeah, that could... only watch... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jessie, do you want to go next?
Sure, I can do. Cranky old man. I was like trying to read that. Cranky old man says, would love to hear your perspective on inventory update regarding who needs it. While I find the inventory lacking, there are much more broken bits of the game that need fixing. Lots of YouTubers are pushing it, but do the majority of players who aren't doing mega builds or spending full-time work hours playing that affected by it? Interesting.
Yeah.
Is interesting.
The people that play on my patron servers put a lot more time and effort into Minecraft than I do as a full-time content creator, and they're all builders. I would imagine they're really bothered by it.
Yeah. I think that, though, is the key word there. Builders are really bothered by it. I don't know very many Redstoners who are bothered. I don't know very many casual players who are bothered, besides when they're like out exploring. That is when people care. But it's builders. Anyone who spends a lot of time building, they're just like, please fix now. And
I disagree about Redstoners because
Really?
even in my flat world, when I'm doing Redstone stuff without tools or anything like that, it drives me mad having to, because there's a lot of Redstone items and then you need full blocks to put them on, and sometimes you need glass, and having to constantly be swapping stuff out of your hotbar. I know your inventory's not full, but having to constantly swap stuff on your hotbar just to, it drives you nuts. So you just end up pick block everything, and then everything goes out of order, and man. Yeah, I think it's the hotbar for me, and I think that would affect a lot of players, especially with how many tools and items we've got now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Viable Sword here with Love the Podcast. Foxy's parenting advice had me rolling.
It was very good advice, I have to admit. Yes. Okay, NSPG 911 says, sorry for the thickest feedback you've ever seen. Oh my goodness, this is a long one.
It's like 2 pages.
Yeah, wow. I have to
Strap
scroll.
in, guys. Hold tight. We're going for a ride. Hi,
Okay.
Foxy, Slack, and Jessie. I finally decided to create another feedback for the show. I just finished last week's podcast and heard about the offhand being mentioned a lot. As a beginner pack creator, add-ons are what makes Minecraft Bedrock better. While Jessie mentioned to Foxy, create an add-on for us that makes the use of offhand is possible. Even if someone was to create that add-on, there would be many more items in the creative menu, as each item in the add-on is added to the menu. If you were to add an offhandable item for each tool, then there would be 5 tools times 6 different types, which means 30 more tools. If you continue to do that for each item, you would be left with nearly 2,000 more items in the creative menu. Another problem with add-ons is you're not able to remove items in the menu. You only have the option to reskin an item, rename an item, reskin a mob, or add a mob, or add an item, not remove a mod or an item, unless you... Okay, so basically, cutting this off short, what this person is saying is, yes, it is possible to have to make an entire new set of all of the items in Minecraft if you've got the patience to do it, to make them all offhandable, which would be pointless because most of the items in Minecraft don't need to be in the offhand. Realistically, only the tools do, but you still can't use them. You would just be able to hold them, which makes it pointless again. And I think we covered it quite clearly in the last podcast to say that the whole idea was pointless because we couldn't change the Minecraft one, so just add in duplicates of everything's a bad idea. But yes, it is frustrating that you cannot disable any of the Minecraft features. Like on data packs for Java Edition, you can turn off the vanilla vanilla aspect to the game altogether and just have custom data packs. You can't do that for Bedrock Edition. Any thoughts, guys?
Yeah. This is one of those times where I'm just like, okay, yep, what Foxy said. he knows the stuff. So yes, I agree with Foxy.
Slack, do you want to do Cranky Old Man next?
Cranky Old Man says, I love the idea of fish bows. Would be great if that were similar to chests in that you could join multiples together to get a bigger fish tank capable of holding more fish.
No, it is one fish tank, one block per fish. If you want a fish tank to hold more fish, right, get some glass and get some water and get a bucket.
My goodness.
You know what could have worked, Foxy? As if you'd had that tough golem to hold your bucket of fish.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, man. Oh, man. My golems. I didn't get my copper golem or my tough golem. One year they're going to make a golem people want.
Maybe.
Jeez. Okay. Yes.
Benji says, hi, everyone. As you know, the Minecraft mob vote is out. Seeing as it's rumored that 1.20 is an archaeology update, the sniffer could be a good idea. It's said to dig up seeds and maybe even ancient seeds. This could be a good time to rehaul the food in the game or just some new type of food. My only hope for that is that they're not too hard to find, like that blue pixie thing. Thank you for doing such a great job every week. You're welcome.
And thank you for the feedback.
Yeah. I don't want new food types. I know that's weird because I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm firmly on. I just want the sniffer to give me a pretty plant. That's all.
Okay. Right. Is it me?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't labelled them this week because I didn't know if you were coming, Jessie. So it's sort of me in Slack order, which is why we're going a bit all over the place.
Gotcha.
Purple says, hi guys, it's Purple. I was wondering how the practice recording of the podcast went this week. This week is so good, like every other week. I might even hop onto Bedrock and play a survival world, only if my Java SMP crashes. Waiting for the next episode, Purple.
Purple is nothing if not consistent.
Yes, there you go, Slack. I'll give you a slightly easier one.
Who's that by? Vamp? How do you say that? Vamp?
Vamplix.
Hello, I just wanted to tell Foxy that his voice is not grating. Sure, compared to Pixel's silky smooth voice, Foxy sounds like a lawnmower, but aside from that, Foxy doesn't have a grating voice.
Oh my gosh!
Love the podcast. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Vamplix. It's nice to see people got my back. I appreciate it.
Goodness.
Next feedback, please.
That's you.
Is it? Oh, okay. Turtley78 says, hi, podcast crew. At 30:29 in the last podcast, you were talking about shulker boxes exploding when they hit things like lava and cactus. This was added back in the Nether update because if you had netherite in shulker box, then it would burn with the rest of it. So they made it so that items spewed out and any netherite wouldn't burn. Sorry for crushing your dreams. Cheers to Turtley. I don't feel like that's the reason, that's the actual genuine reason, is it?
I think it was actually. Because they kept getting complaints. Like I vaguely remember tweets about it. Because people kept getting really upset that all their netherite stuff in their shulkers was dying, and so they're like, all right, and
that makes sense, I guess. Okay. Oh, geez, Jessie.
Yeah, I got a good one. Okay. So,
oh dear God.
So Firebird's here. So hey there, everyone. I just wanted to share my thoughts on the 1.20 update. I was always seriously questioning why the bamboo only had like 3 uses: scaffolding and sticks, fuel too, when bamboo can be used for so much more. I like that it has a much broader use now with how many people use bamboo. I love how the deserts will feel a bit more alive with the camels, since the only reason I go there is to gather sand. Maybe they should add tidbits to each biome in this way. It will slowly build up each of them to make all of the biomes even better. One thing I would like improvements is that the chiseled bookshelves should hold more than 6, maybe 8 or 16. The current bookshelf shows a bunch of books. Stacked together, adding more to the chiseled to match would improve its use, and it could provide a broader range of redstone power signals for even better redstone trigger uses. Thanks for reading my feedback. Enjoying the podcast as usual. That's
Okay.
a lot of feedback.
It is. I think the reason the chisel bookshelves will only hold 6 is the limitation of potentially people on mobile devices struggling to be so accurate with where they place their books within the bookshelf. Because I think, again, probably a common misconception from the live show and people just picking it up from other people's videos is that you're not just holding a stack of books in your hand and then just clicking on the bookshelf and they're all just going in order. You are putting the books on the bookshelf where you want them. So there are 6 slots on the bookshelf so that the block is effectively broken up into 6 clickable areas, which is quite small compared to a normal size of a block. So obviously, previously, all we've got is 2 parts of a block, top and bottom, so we can choose to pick whether we've got an upside down stair or the right way up stair or a top slab or a bottom slab. And now that's going to be divided into 3 across the horizontal axis. So if you had 16 books on a bookshelf, you're going to need that, a 4x4 grid, which is going to make actually hitting it in the right place to pick the right book off and put the right book on quite a tedious thing to do. Even on, controllers particularly would be an absolute nightmare to do that on.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Because I'm not good with controllers anyway. And I know that some people are because they're so used to them. But just the idea of me trying to put a specific book in a specific slot on a controller just makes me anxious. Like makes my hands sweaty. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah. I mean, from one hand, it'd be great to have bookshelves with more books on it. So you could, like, when you go to a bookshop on a server, that's the mending bookshelf and the 16 mending books on that bookshelf. That would be fantastic. But just in the reality of how it's going to work, it's just not going to be a suitable thing to do. What would be nice is if they added like a hopper into it, so you could literally just put a chest above the bookshelf with a hopper in and have them filter onto the bookshelf. That would be kind of cool. Any thoughts, Slack?
No, I think you two nailed it there. I was listening and doing research at the same time. I love going down research holes. I do.
Slack is like, nope. This week I am deep diving.
No, I do this every week. Sometime.
Nice.
Yeah, when something gets mentioned, like the whole exploding of shulkers. That was 1.17.30, which was released in September 21st of 2021, and that was a big update on parity. And one of the main complaints, you nailed it, was people complaining about netherite burning up in shulker boxes when they got killed over lava. And that was brought in as part of a parody update in that update. Yep.
Nice. Well, thank you very much, whoever it was that I told you were wrong. You were obviously right. It's Turtley78. Good job. Well done.
It just seems so weird that was the complaint that made it a parody update. It's like, what?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay, Slack, you're on to Victim.
Victim here says, we are no longer the targeted audience Mojang is trying to appeal to. All the new features and updates seem to be designated to attract a much younger player base. I love the game and play on the rare occasions that I have free time, but the established player community is not relevant to Minecraft's future.
True to an extent. I don't see how any of the features that they suggested this year are aimed at a younger audience. I think they're all
take the mob vote. I had no interest in that one, and I'm not, but Jessiie was talking about how her son was really, really excited and upset that, and to me that had no appeal.
The mob vote is it's like I mentioned earlier. It's like they just shoehorn something into for the sake of trying to build up, community, what's it called?
Interest.
Yeah. Whereas the rest of the update, I don't see that's focused at kids. Maybe camels, I guess, but I don't think so. I don't think Oliver would care that we've got new bamboo block stairs and slabs and like bookshelves you can put books on. I don't think that would interest him in the slightest.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, I think it's funny and ironic that people in Discord and stuff just keep calling it the Jessiie update, and it's very much aimed for people like me, it would seem, right? Like new science, yes. New bookshelves, yes. New blocks, like buildy blocks, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely aimed for people who are like, let's detail things, let's get more stuff. So I don't think that's children is the moral of that. I don't think children are like, yes, I can detail a build.
I'm curious if the 6 books in the bookshelf are always the same, because you know how people do them giant pixelated pixel art. You could get really detailed with them using those bookshelves then, couldn't you?
I would really like it if a blank book was one colour, an enchanted book was another colour. I don't care about different colours for different enchantments, just so I know it's an enchanted book. And a book and quill was a different colour, so that you can determine what type of book it is you're pulling off.
Yes.
I think that would be good. But I don't know how they're going to be handling all that sort of stuff, and I didn't really pay too much attention when they were doing it. Just as a sidetrack, I know we're already a long way and we've got a long way to go, but I don't know why, but for some reason, Jessie, when you were responding to Victim there, it reminded me of a comment that I got on a video this week. It was from somebody decided they're not going to watch Truly Bedrock anymore because Truly Bedrock is clearly played on Java Edition, because at 13 minutes and 20 seconds in my video, they could see that I was using bushy leaves. The video, of course, they were watching was my Java Edition Hardcore series. But they've decided that Truly Bedrock is a lie and they're not going to watch it anymore. So,
sorry to see you go, but have fun.
Good talk.
How do you go to the effort of writing the comment under that video about that without noticing that it's not Truly Bedrock? I don't get it. I don't get it.
And it took how long? 13 minutes into the video?
Pardon?
It took 13 minutes into the video to realize it was Java.
I mean, I think we said it straight away. I'm pretty sure that was in the intro, but that's okay. Foxy, do you want to read Billy Bob's?
I'd love to. Thanks, Jessie.
You're welcome.
Billy Bob here. I already can't wait for the 1.20 update with hanging signs, chiseled bookshelves, camels, the sniffer, more decorative plants, bamboo crafting, and the bamboo raft. The 1.20 update is my newfound update, even if this is all Mojang adds to it. Really can't wait. Any thoughts on 1.20? Billy Bob is bamboozled by all the building's possibilities. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Billy Bob, that chances are the sniffer's not going to make it in 1.20 because, believe it or not, it actually takes months and months and months of the entire development team to just add one mob into the game. So I would expect to see that in a 2026 update, something like that.
Nailed it. Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, you're right. But I think at this point we've talked about kind of what we're excited for, what we're not so excited for. I hope that you enjoy our conversations, though, Billy Bob from earlier on. So Whitebush says, "Dear Jessie, Slack, Foxy, and Purple, thank you for the Bedrock Focus podcast. I have been playing Minecraft since about 1.2.5, which was before the Bedrock edition was even thought of. I have also been listening to the Spawn Chunks podcast since episode 8 came out. I'm currently a devoted Bedrock player because it gives my family and friends the most accessible way to all play together on a realm. I truly appreciate a Bedrock focused podcast since it shares in our joy and pain with the versions. If you would like a more Java focused discussion, feel free to look up the other podcast. Please let this one stay Bedrock. Keep up the great work. Sincerely, Whitebush. P.S. Don't be afraid of the innuendo humor. Laughs keep us coming back. Thanks.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for letting us know about that other podcast, Whitebush. I'll have to check it out. I've never come across it before. It's news to me.
Yeah, it's called the Spawn Chunks, right? Apparently,
yeah, I think so.
They have silky smooth voices.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, I think they just talk really nice. It's like melatonin. It's like melatonin straight to the brain. So
you ever watch him stream?
Oh gosh!
Every time he streams, like he'll push the mic away and do stuff, and then when he goes to talk, he always pulls the mic right up here. Every time. He makes sure that he always is like talking directly into the mic, and then he looks away and does his own thing, and then he comes right back into the mic.
Yep. He's talking to my soul.
I'll get my coat. Oh, geez. So that is the end of this week's feedback. If you want to leave us feedback about Pixel Rifts, then you can by email us at Minecraft. No, it's not. It's news@theminecraftupdate.com. Put feedback in your subject line so we know it's feedback. Or you can fill in our handy feedback form, which you can find on our website. Or you can join the Discord and leave it there, which is the most convenient. So please do. All right, moving on from feedback and into the bug date. Jessie, is that from this week or from last week?
Did I mention it last week?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
We
then
talked about it last week.
it's the same problem.
Okay, Jessie's still fed up with mob spawning where there is clearly light, and we didn't get any community bug date this week. I haven't had any because the game's just perfect. What about you, Slack?
Mine is related to .31. It's kind of the same thing Jessie's is with the mobs. Mine's not mob related. It's just bug related. Like I put in our feedback section in our Discord here of Jen streaming earlier. We started a new world, as I said, the new Slackville.
Oh yeah.
And like on the map, as Jen goes up to this area, you can see on the ground the shadow of a ruined portal area. Junk Base says there should be a ruined portal there. You can see the shadows of a ruined portal there when she first loads it. And then when she logs off and logs back onto the world, there's nothing there.
So what server is that on? Truly Bedrock or
No. This is on my new world that I just made like 2 days ago. My Slackville world. But it's like other structures are doing it too. Like witch hutches, you'll walk up to it, you'll see the shadow where it's supposed to be, and there's nothing. And then you'll relog and log back in, and it's not there.
It's almost like the structures on the client side of things are being generated by a different seed than they are on the server.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
That's very interesting.
I haven't found a bug tracker on it yet. I haven't seen nothing. It's something we've just newly discovered. I'm curious if anybody else has noticed it out there or not.
Just to be clear with that again, the video shows the shadow of the thing there. So the server's clearly like generating the light map for the chunks, but there's no blocks there creating the shadow. It's bizarre. Are you 100% sure in your server properties that you've got the right seed for the world?
Yeah, me and T-Man both checked that earlier today. It's weird. It's like the client renders one thing, the server renders another.
Weird. That is weird. Do you know what? I downloaded a copy of Truly Bedrock onto my local worlds today to do some work on Truly Bedrock. And as I was walking around in the overworld, bear in mind this is single player and not on the server, I was walking towards where Zoe's base is at the bottom of mine, and all of his blocks were moving and changing as I was getting closer and closer, and everything all of a sudden was in a slightly different position. It was really weird. So there is some crazy stuff going on with client-side chunk generation.
I wonder if that's related to the new generation that we've been talking about here with client server-side changes, maybe. Like rendered from a distance and rendered up close.
Very strange. Very strange. Well, unfortunately, because we've had no bugs from anyone else, that is the end of this week's bug date, which takes us very, very quickly into our wish list section. I can't see you and Slack have got one.
We did, because I don't.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay, well, my feedback, as I've already mentioned today, is for Mojang or my wish list is for Mojang to remember they have a feedback website, clean it up, and replace the mob vote with the top 3 requested features.
I like that.
That's what I would like them to add to the game. That would be nice. It would, like, if they just hyped it up, like, throughout the year on Twitter or whatever, or even put that, because there's a feedback button on the on the home screen of Bedrock Edition. It takes you straight there. If they just made like, hey, you got an idea for us, put it in here and we'll do a vote on it next year at the mob thing. There wouldn't be 28,000 for the highest voted thing. It would be millions. It would be amazing. And I think, they were going, this year we had 3.5 million people voted on the mob vote. That's 3.5 million people voting for something they don't really care all that much about. You put that about the things that have been genuinely asked for by the community, like backpacks and things like that. I think you'll find the feature vote or the feedback vote will have like 10 plus million, considering there's 150 million active Mindblast players. So you really want to drive community engagement. That's the way to do it. And I know Mojang don't want to put backpacks into the game and they'll do everything they can to avoid it. But if they genuinely want to have community-driven updates, then put the stuff in the community wants, or work with the community to take that and go, okay, you want backpacks, but this is our spin on this. What do you think? Yeah? And back and forth. Do it that way. So, yeah. Okay. The community feedback then. Oh, someone's gone through and put... oh, thanks, Jessie.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. That makes life easier.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. So Brood says, on PC, when you're bulk crafting, often the recipe book will shift and suddenly you're crafting things you don't want to. My idea is just that the recipe book would not update while the UI is open. Let me quick click and make a billion bone meal. Yes. I've been asking for this for a long time, Brood.
Yeah.
Take away that stupid button that jumps into place and turns all of your bone meal into white dye. Jeez. It is frustrating. Like, you let's say you're turning stone into stone bricks and then all of a sudden your stones run out and you've ended up with a stack of stone brick wall and you're like, why?
There used to be a craft all button in Bedrock Edition when it first launched. So like if you had an inventory full of stone and you wanted to make it to stone brick, you could click craft on, it would craft every one of them instantly.
You can still do that with like if you shift craft the items, you can turn all of your whole stack of logs into planks, but it won't do more than one stack at a time.
Oh no, this would do every stack.
Yeah, well, I still don't think that would fix the problem. I think people are just too click happy when it comes to stuff like that. They just need to stop them book shifting. Or like if new things come up, put them at the end. Put them at the end. Why do they have to have an order? The order doesn't make any sense.
I think it's good, Ben.
Yeah, good ideas, Ben.
I agree.
It's already in. I put it in ages ago.
No.
It's like right at the bottom. Get that one first. Okay.
Tear right here. I guess that's how you say that one. That's how I'm going to say it. More bosses, early, mid, and late game. That shouldn't be necessary for progression, but could drop some unique loot. I would like a little bit more detail on that, but I'm not opposed.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some more bosses.
Yeah.
I'd like some like actual dungeons as well.
Yes. Yes. I've always wanted more bosses. That agreed. I don't think it should be necessary. But just to have them, have the option. Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Good ideas, Ben. It's in. Done.
Okay. Yep.
Wile E. Coyote says, new idea. How about being able to send villagers to university to get a particular enchantment? Could be multiple levels to get higher level books, 1, 2, 3, etc. Just pay your emeralds and maybe at some point in the future, you get that Unbreaking 3 you want. What do you think? No.
Yes, but different.
Oh, okay. How different?
Right. Instead of sending them to university, just the more money you spend with a villager, the more experienced it becomes, which already happens. It levels up, right? So, let's say you've already bought 10 Unbreaking 2 books, then it goes, I'm good enough to make Unbreaking 3 books now.
Yes.
Love that idea.
Good. Excellent. And then, right, then they can, you might not like this idea quite so much, but let's just take this and roll with it. All of the villager trades start at the lowest level, but then you don't have to roll so many stupid trades when you roll in a villager because you're not rolling for Unbreaking 1, 2, and 3. There's just Unbreaking. Starts at 1, you buy 10 books, it goes to Unbreaking 2. Buy 10 more, it goes to Unbreaking 3. Or maybe you have to buy 20 more or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
So.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Good ideas, Ben. It's in. Well done, Wile E. Coyote. Excellent. Jason says, new idea. I want grapple hooks, but you need to be able to fire more than one, so you could slam yourself into a wall and then fire another grapple at something else. Interestingly enough, in Minecraft Live, they did the Batman showcase, and they had grapple hooks.
Yep.
I saw that.
Just saying. Grapple hooks is not ender pearls. Yeah, I was thinking about that actually before this feedback came through and before Batman came through, and I was thinking about when Slack says it was when I was editing last week's podcast and Slack says, so you're basically choosing when to fall into the void after you've grappled to the wrong part of the end island. I'm thinking, well, no, because then while you're grappled, you then turn around and point at another bit and you fire at that, and then you're obviously the first grapple lets go, but then you grappled onto something else. So you're not going to just fall into the void and die. So I'm all over grapple hooks.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Good idea, sure.
Really? I don't think you agree. I think you're just saying it.
I'm actually fine with it. If I can get it without having to go to the end. If I can get it early on, if that can be my early on thing, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then I'm sold. What do you need to craft a grapple?
You would need something to make the gun part of it. So maybe probably on a crossbow, right?
Okay.
And then just a bit of iron and string.
Fishing hook and string. Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah, fishing hook, something like that maybe. What do you think, Jessie?
Yeah. So I'm not super interested in grappling hooks. Like, I mean, even if it was super easy, I don't know. It just doesn't sound like something I'm interested in personally.
Oof. Oh, fine. Okay.
But hold on. I wouldn't be opposed. Like if somebody else wants them, sure, whatever. Don't care. But I'm not interested.
So I'm going to put this one in the fun ideas bin because I think we all would find some fun in them, but perhaps they're not excited enough to go into the good ideas bin, sadly. Well, that's okay.
They'd be good in Batman.
Cry a little bit.
They'd be good in Batman. With that grappling hook and bow rope.
That's all I'm playing now is Batman DLC.
Oh, God.
That's really annoying. When that came out, I was like, oh, man, that was going to be like my next add-on. I already figured out how to do all the stuff, and then it's in the Batman game. So if I do that add-on now, everyone's going to be just like, oh, rip-off. It's the rip-off. Jeez. Okay, Slack, go on.
JJ here with the next one, and I've done read this one, but I'm going to now read it out loud for everybody else, and I really like this one. I'm excited about this one. Sorry.
Okay.
With the announcement of bamboo boats, which are really just rafts, imagine being able to tie 4 or 6 of them together and build a bamboo structure on top. Then you have a floating starter house that you can take all your stuff wherever you want, so long as wherever you want to go is over a large body of water.
When they said about the bamboo rafts, I was imagining something bigger, and then it was just a boat without the sides. It's even still got the bottom texture for the boat. I'm like, that's not a... Look at you. Why are you showing us video of it from underneath where we can see the floors? You've left the bottom bit in. Jeez. So, and they're still using oars. No, stand up and paddle with it. Jeez. So, yeah, I'd love to be able to build a floating starter house, even if it's just like a bed, a chest, and a roof. I'd be well up for that.
Oh, yeah, that you could move around? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be super excited.
It's very, very un-Minecrafty because it's suddenly blocks that don't snap to a block.
Yeah.
But I like it. So, yeah, it's got my vote.
Well, if you really think about it, a moving chest on a boat is an odd concept because the chest doesn't move in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No,
I mean, yeah, you can
but
push it with a piston.
It's a tile entity. So...
Give me a tile.
Perhaps there would just have to be very specific blocks that you could put on it.
Yeah.
And in like very specific positions. So maybe you was like you can build a raft wall and a raft roof and a raft sleeping bag or something.
I love this. But I don't think it'll ever happen, but I love it.
No. But I'm putting it in.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Lego Steve.
Lego Steve says, hi, Foxy, Slack, and Jessie. So I've been making texture packs, and I wish you could change the texture pack while in game. It's really annoying having to leave the world every time. It might be kind of hard because it would have to reset all the textures, but there could just be another loading screen, maybe. Thanks for the great pod, Lego Steve.
That's how it works on Java, right? You can change it mid-game on Java Edition. Yeah.
You absolutely can.
Or just refresh your UI. So say you're in a multiplayer world and you're using, the natural texture pack and you want to take it off. Just hit like Control R or whatever, or have a button in the menus, reload. Bloop, bloop.
That would be so helpful when I'm trying to do like textures for entities and stuff like that when I'm working on packs. Yeah, I'd love that.
Reload,
that would be
refresh.
amazing.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I'm all over it, Lego Steve.
No.
It's in the bin.
Yeah.
Excellent. Which means we are at the end of our wish list section with just the questions to go. And I'm glad because we're already nearly 2 hours into this thing and I've got to edit it all tomorrow. So we're going to start with Wiley Coyote saying, why isn't there anything in barrels in Worlds? Fishermen would have fish, string, rotten flesh, etc. And even created marketplace worlds seldom use barrels. That's interesting. I use barrels and marketplace stuff rather than chests because they're less laggy. But I guess, why don't we have areas of the world where you can find a barrel instead of a chest?
Yeah, where there's loot.
Because villages attached to them. And then we'd have villages where there shouldn't be villages, I guess. But then if they had barrels in villages.
It made more sense if barrels were in the shipwrecks instead of chests.
Yeah. Good question, Wiley Coyote. I don't know the answer. I wouldn't be opposed to having the odd barrel kicking about in the world with a bit of fishing. Okay.
Billy Bob here says, love the sniffer. More flowers. Does Jessiie like the sniffer?
I do. The sniffer is what I voted for because, new flower type. Also, I'm a simple-minded person. Cute little creatures. I'm in. You got me.
It's not little, it's massive.
I hope that it's as massive as it looks in comparison to the art. I think that would be so cool, especially if we can write it. But I'm not going to speculate what you can do or not do. But just as it is, I think it's adorable.
I do not see them making that rideable. It is,
so
for
cool.
all intents and purposes, a turtle. It's a turtle that instead of laying eggs, it sniffs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw it. It's a giant turtle.
I love it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Greenfoot9 says, is Blaze Powder overpowered? I'm relatively new player, playing on the Switch. I find myself in a circular problem. I want to fly, so I need ender pearls to find an end portal. So I need Blaze Powder. So I need a bastion. So I need to cross the nether. So I need fire resistance. So I need Blaze Powder. It sounds like you have a misconception of what is a need versus what makes life easier. You don't need fire resistance in order to go into the nether. Does it help? Absolutely. But you don't need it.
You don't need a bastion.
Yeah.
You want a fortress, actually.
I was just going to say you would need a end fortress, not a bastion. But it's I don't think Blaze Powder is overpowered. I think that it is necessary for so many things because it's a challenge. If you didn't need it, how easy would it be to just go to the end and get wings straight away for the average person? It would be way too easy. So I think it's a good balance to the game.
Yeah, exactly. End game is supposed to be end game for a reason. And I know a lot of us, particularly content creators, will skip through it as quick as, skip to the end game as quick as possible because that's where we enjoy playing the most. And when you're making video after video after video, it does get quite tiresome if you're always in early game. But the idea of a game is that a game is balanced to keep you playing it for as long as possible so that you don't get bored. And if the average player just has everything they want from the beginning, there's no challenge. And a lot of players play for that challenge. They don't all play to spend years in the world building it or digging or mining or doing redstone. They're playing to, well, if Minecraft had no challenges, it wouldn't be very exciting for a lot of people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I agree. Not overpowered, needed for end-related content. Yeah, it's just, Nether's dangerous. It's meant to be dangerous. You don't need fire resist. It helps. But you can also get fire resistance or fire protection on your gear, which goes a long way.
Yeah, you don't need Blaze Powder for that.
Yeah, exactly. Ori here says, do you think that the 1.20 update is an adventure update? Also, best podcast ever. Please keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is the adventure update?
No.
I don't think there's any adventure required for the stuff that's in the new update. I suppose you'll have to go find some bamboo and find a camel if you really want one, but I wouldn't consider it an adventure update.
Oh, man. Especially with the changes they did to bamboo here a while back. Oh, you're going to love putting together a new bamboo farm, right?
Red Monkey says, hi to anyone who's here today. During Minecraft Live, they announced bamboo, stairs and slabs coming. Did they? I realised that while people have been wanting concrete stairs and slabs, Mojang has almost developed a full rainbow of wood types. No, they're all yellow. They're only now missing green or blue, depending on what colour warped wood is. What do you guys think? Thanks for the fun and entertaining podcast. P.S. Is Foxy sad they didn't announce Dodge rolling at Minecraft Live? No, I'm not sad because I know it's coming. I know that's one of the few things that they didn't tell us about. There's...
I mean, you got Prismarine stairs.
Yeah. There's no pink stairs. There's red with the nether brick. Red with
kind
the
of
crimson. I suppose crimson's pink, isn't it?
Yeah. That's your closest pink, yeah.
No purple.
Purple. Purple.
No, that's pinky as well, isn't it? Doesn't go with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a good range, but I don't think bamboo really adds to that, to be honest with you, because it's just another yellow wood.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I feel like I'm really putting bamboo down. I'm not. I think it's great they're adding more wood stuff. I wish it wasn't that colour. Wish it wasn't so contrasty and so vivid.
Yeah.
I wish it was more muted, because birch is quite luminous, isn't it? Maybe like a whiter wood, something that was less saturated, but with those lines in could look kind of cool, maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
It feels very, very, very vibrant, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Jeez, believe it or not, peeps, that was the end of the questions. I can't believe it, which means that's pretty much the end of the podcast. All we've got left to do is ask, oh no, hang on a minute. No, wait, stop.
Okay, we're stopping.
If you want to ask a question, then send an email to news@theminecraftupdate.com and put question in your subject line, or fill out our handy feedback form on the minecraftupdate.com website, or join the Discord and ask it there because it's most convenient. Now we shall tell you what we're going to be up to this week, and then we'll go away and leave you alone. Jessie, what are you doing this week?
I'm not playing any Truly Bedrock. I'm finished for 6 months.
Oh my goodness. No, I will be on Truly Bedrock. I'm just not going to be like streaming from Truly Bedrock. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But this week I will be trying to get my second account to affiliate. So many streams.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Slack, what are you going to be up to this week?
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I'm not going to be playing any Truly Bedrock.
No, I'm not going to be on any Truly Bedrock. I'll do random streams on Minecraft stuff, and I'll do second channel stuff. And if you want to be up to date, just join the Discord and keep up there. Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, I am going to try very hard to keep up to my normal schedule. However, it is the dreaded half term coming this week or next week. So this weekend, I'm going to be quite busy, and next week, I'm going to be quite busy. And next weekend, we have, although we'll probably tell you about it in next week's podcast, the Truly Bedrock Halloween stream weekend. Of course, Jessie and Slack won't be there because they're both giving up on it, but I will be there on both days. I'm assuming you guys are doing it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay. Good. In that case, all that is left to do is to tell you the same thing that I say at the end of every single podcast, and that is, if you think you can develop 3 Minecraft mobs in less than 9 months and without an entire team behind you, then you can. All you got to do is download Blockbench. You can make a Minecraft mob in 30 seconds. And no, that's all I got to say about that.
Okay.
That was such a good...
Pretty good one.
that took me right out. Oh, gosh. Oh, I gotta go watch Forrest Gump. My goodness. All right. You crazy. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.